Perfect.
Yeah, just give me a second. Yes, I think the notification has gone and people have started joining in. So let's kick off this session. Welcome everyone to this LinkedIn Pe Charcha episode 7. And I have a very special guest with me tonight in the form of Mayur Jadhav. I'd like to formally introduce him as well. So he's a data analyst by profession. He is a LinkedIn growth expert. He has his own brand and his own newsletter. His online community is like 49,000 plus members, and his newsletter has 10,000 plus subscribers. So, welcome to the show, Mayur, and it's a pleasure to have you.
Thank you, Rahul. Thanks for having me here.
Absolutely. And one more thing to the audience that I'd like to tell, first of all, that you can drop in all your questions in the comment section and I'll try to take it up with Mayur. It can be anything related to personal branding, content creation, LinkedIn, or if you want to know anything about, growth hacking data as well, I can take that up with Mayur. So drop in your questions. And second, one very important thing that is close to my heart as well is when I started out, I had a call with Mayur for like 15 minutes, which I also told to Mayur. So he's that one guy who I have always looked up to. So a lot of learnings coming the way.
Yeah, I
Ye-
still remember that call, definitely. I mean, I was also struggling or I was also figuring out things. And in between, Rahul just sent me a message, okay, can we just connect for a 5 minutes? And then we had a long chat. So, yeah.
Absolutely, absolutely. So, Mayur, the first question that I have for you is actually a pain point for a lot of users on LinkedIn. And I'm sure people who have joined in, like 12, 13 people who have joined in, this question is going to be constant in their mind that how do you monetize on LinkedIn? Or even if you consider the whole content creation game, how do you actually monetize? What should be the mindset towards that? So, would love your tips on that.
Yeah, so I haven't actually started focusing more on monetization because
Hmm.
my focus only as of now that's create content, build personal brand, and
Right.
that's how my journey started, right? So even though like when I started on LinkedIn, I never
Mhm.
thought about okay, I wanna monetize this or I wanna do that, right? I just
Right.
started out of curiosity, and that curiosity turned out to be very well. So right now, like I have gathered good number of people on LinkedIn as well as other social media platforms as well. So
Right.
I think monetization should not be the focus point, and it should not be in the future as well. Of course, a lot of things we can do or we can monetize on, but that's not my focus area because LinkedIn is not my primary source of income, right? It's
Mm.
like I'm just doing it for how hobby.
Right.
So yeah,
Right. Absolutely. That's a great point that I see a lot of people who are just joining in to in the content creation game who focus a lot upon what money can come in through these efforts and what will be the monetary gains. But end of all, if that is your primary aim, I think you will leave the process when you see that, because algorithms keep changing, engagement keep changing. So when the engagement will fall, you eventually will leave the process. So
exactly.
that's a great point. Now, second most important thing is now we or like all the people who are into person branding game, we follow people like you, Jerry, Harsh, who are building their person brand amazingly well. Now, I would want to bring out the struggles of a content creator, right? We all have those days while we feel that, yeah, yes, let's leave all this, let's focus on a job or clients, let's earn money out of that. Why should I put in efforts for personal branding? So, have you had those days, and how have you overcome those days, and what is your mindset on those days?
Yeah, honestly, it depends on how you take it. If you really
Mm.
want to do it, then you
Right.
will figure it out the way, right?
Mm.
And building personal brand and everything, that is kind of a necessity at this time, right? If you don't have a brand, then you don't get that much visibility, and then you struggle
Right.
for everything, right? Even though
Right.
you are doing job and you want to change the job, right? And still, then you start reaching out to people. That struggle is there, right? So you can
Mm.
minimize that struggle by building your brand, right? And
Absolutely.
of course, when you start your journey, There will
Hmm.
be a struggle because you're completely new. You don't know anything about the platform, about the content creation and everything. But along the way, if you keep
Hmm.
doing that same thing, then definitely you'll figure it out. And then main thing,
Right.
it helped me that whenever I try something, I try to make it in a process, or I try to fit it into the process, right? So
Hmm.
if that works, I just have to repeat that process specifically. I don't need to
Right.
reinvent anything new, right? So if I see something on LinkedIn which is frequently coming up on my newsfeed and it's working, so what I
Hmm.
do, I usually set up the process and just try out things. If that works,
Right.
then I just repeat that thing. So that way, I just minimize or reduce my time to create
Hmm.
or to try out things and get the maximum output. So if you are
Right.
like currently newly starting on LinkedIn and you have no idea, maybe you are struggling with LinkedIn, right? What you need to do,
Right.
just observe people, right? Give yourself like 6 months or 1 year. Let's say you think about, make that mindset, okay, I'm going to try at least 6 months or 1 year. Like
Hmm.
if you do that, if you have that kind of mindset and you put everything into it, then definitely you'll you'll see the results after that period, after 6 months or 1 year.
Right, absolutely. As you said, process. I also agree that process is a very, very important thing. And one attached question to this is, by process, do you also mean having templates and having a fixed set of, kind of, putting the content out, a process for that? Do you mean templates and all of these things? Do you also use templates?
Yeah, so templates and everything that comes under like very advanced techniques.
Okay.
Think about like very small thing. Let's say when I say process, it means like first give yourself like enough time. Let's say you say 6 months or maybe one year. That's the one thing.
Hmm.
Another thing,
Hmm.
now you're thinking about, okay, I'm gonna write content every day. So how you're gonna
Right.
write content? You need process.
Hmm.
That process requires your 1 hour at least a day to create content, or maybe
Right.
30 minutes. It's up to you, right? So
Right.
that's the part of process. And then okay, in that 1 hour, what you're gonna do? In that 1 hour,
Hmm.
you're gonna research on topics, you're gonna write your draft, you're gonna restructure your post, and you're gonna at least publish or maybe schedule your content. So that kind of
Hmm.
streamlined process you should have it. And once you optimize that process, then you can add few elements like create your templates by your own. So whenever you try creating new content, you can just plug in and add some text, and you have your new LinkedIn post, right? Or maybe if
Right.
you're creating videos, then have a template ready with you. So that way you can immediately create content, your time gets reduces, and you can focus more on getting ideas, adding few elements in your process, and you can literally grow your account very fast.
Right, absolutely. Great point. And this process would also get you used to that, fixed kind of schedule, you can say, or fixed process, as you said. And it will be difficult to leave that process, because once you get used to it, you will be, it would be very, very difficult for that. Now, I welcome all the guests. Sanket, hi Sanket, hi Rupjot. We have a few questions as well, which I'd like to take up. Now, Mohit is asking, what is the best way to create content to generate leads and create community of audience at the same time?
Okay, so best way to create content, right? So I think when you start creating content, eventually if you get the attraction, you get the maximum number of reach, then people start coming to your profile, and that's also kind of conversion, right? People,
Hmm.
you are driving traffic from your newsfeed or your content to your profile, where you have
Right.
already mentioned all your whatever you do, either
Right.
your skills or maybe your services, product, everything, and then
Right.
you directly might get like inbound leads. People
Hmm.
start inquiring your services, your product, or maybe your skills itself. Right?
Hmm.
That kind of conversion definitely happens. The first step is like create content, right? And if you aggressively want to generate leads, then you can do like outbound leads. Then
Hmm.
you can put your efforts sending emails, sending cold emails, sending DMs, and sending connection requests. So all those things you can do. But start with content creation, and then
Right.
once you have your community built on LinkedIn, uh, of
Hmm.
course, whatever numbers you have on LinkedIn, that's kind of a rented place, right? So
Hmm.
that's not your own community. So what you
Right.
need to do, you need to first own your own community. So what you can do, you can just drive all your community from LinkedIn to your own private community. That may be
Hmm.
like not Instagram. That may be like a Discord channel or maybe Telegram channel, Facebook group, or
Right.
whatever it is. Like Telegram is, I think Telegram is best one because it's kind of Facebook, but you get like real and people. But problem is that not so many people using Telegram,
Mm.
and you don't have that much limit as like we have on WhatsApp. So yeah, you can try different things, figure it
Right.
out your platform. Discord is also best platform nowadays, so you can choose your platform and drive traffic from your LinkedIn audience, drive your LinkedIn audience towards your own community, and then there you can nurture your community, share all your insights, all your premium or premium, whatever you want to share, and then there
Right.
you can generate leads.
Right. Absolutely. So, taking away the key takeaways from this, you said that first mindset should be the conversion is actually bringing people from content to your page. That's the first conversion. And the second conversion is from your page to your community. And then you kind of monetize to that. Or if short term, then definitely outbound has to be a part of your strategy. So I hope, Mohit, your question is answered. If you have any other follow up questions, you may comment down and I'll take it up. Now, one more very important question that Renu is asking, that often we get confused between different social media channels when we are starting out our content creation journey, because the content is kind of different on all these channels. So, what is your mindset on that, and what are your tips on this?
Okay, so when you're starting on your journey on social media, of course you need to fix on one particular platform. If you try out like
Mm.
multiple platforms, then it might take a lot of time. Like maybe like instead of like 6 months, it might take 1 year, maybe 2 years, right?
Right.
So you need to first start on one platform, and once you feel okay, I'm comfortable with that platform, I got a few numbers with me, then you can
Right.
start another platform, right? But
Mm.
take one platform at a time, and then slowly increase your platforms. So,
Right.
and if you offer like an entire team, then it's a great. If you can offer or hire some interns, then you can go for like all in. But
Mm.
that's if that's your goal. But if you want to do it by yourself, then and it's of course if you're like a 1 hour a day or maybe 2 hour a day, then
Mm.
only one platform is like wise decision. If you have enough time,
Right.
then I would still suggest that start with one platform and
Mm.
then eventually or gradually grow or go from one platform to another platform and then third platform or fourth platform. So I think LinkedIn and Twitter works really best.
Yes.
Of course, you can try Instagram as well, but LinkedIn and Twitter does magic.
Hmm, absolutely. And it makes sense as well, because you tend to get confused when you think about so many communities, so many types of content, and you might just end up, tiring yourself and leaving the process. So, and I've also
Yeah, I
seen
think
that.
there is one more question in that same question, that content, right? So of course,
Yes.
whatever you create on LinkedIn, right, you should
Yeah.
not or you can't just post directly on Twitter. You need
Hmm.
to optimize that content. Even though you are just repurposing that content, but still it takes effort. You need to put your time to restructure that content and publish it on Twitter. And it's
Hmm.
not like publishing or republishing your content. You need to, like, if you really want to get it into the Twitter thing, then or maybe Instagram thing, then still you need to engage with content on that particular platform. Like
Right.
you need to take care of all the things like posting time, before posting, after posting,
Hmm.
everything, right?
Right.
So when you talk about like content, definitely it required your time, your attention when you are repurposing. But if you are just like focusing on one and you're not that much caring about like what will happen on Twitter or maybe Instagram. In that
Right.
sense, you can just create at one place and just distribute many other places and just forget about it. You only
Hmm.
focus on LinkedIn and just republish rest of the content. Whether it will work or not, you just don't care because right now your focus is on LinkedIn.
Right. Absolutely. Makes sense. Makes sense. And also, I've seen that once, let's say if you build your community on LinkedIn and you go to Twitter or Instagram and you have a good community on LinkedIn, so people start also respecting you, that, okay, this guy's kind of built a community on a platform and now he has come and started on this platform. So automatically your following also starts increasing that way. So that's it. That's a great insight. Now, third question is basically is also a very important question that a lot of newbies have, but also people who are doing personal branding also have this question, that what content format to go for. Should we go ahead with what's trending or what's giving the maximum reach, or should we stick to particular content formats? Or what was your strategy when it came to content formats?
Yeah. So ultimately it depends on what kind of goals you want to achieve. Let's say
Hmm.
you just want to get a lot of views,
Right.
then you can say like LinkedIn posts are working definitely great.
Yeah.
So you can
Yeah.
just create one LinkedIn post per day, and you will have like 100K or like a 200K views within a week, or maybe like within a 2 to 3 days, right?
Right.
So it depends on what kind of things you want. If you really want
Hmm.
to attract good clients, or really want to attract few people, or maybe you really want to build your audience,
Hmm.
then you should create quality content.
Right.
Right? If you really want to get a job on LinkedIn, then your goal is like getting connected with recruiters, or maybe like hiring managers, or
Hmm.
following company their updates, right? So it depends on what kind of goal you have and what kind of things you want to achieve.
Right, absolutely makes sense. Makes sense. And also, when it comes to LinkedIn content creation, there's a very important aspect of networking attached with it, because posting is one thing, but engaging and networking with the right kind of people is another thing. So, what do you think is the right strategy for a person who is just joining in this game? How many people should he network with on a daily basis, and what should be the approach towards those networks?
Yeah. So what happens that usually people start networking when they really need something, and that's the
Hmm.
biggest mistake people do. Right? If
Hmm.
you right now you don't need anything, then that's the best time to start networking. So
Right.
when you actually need something, then you can utilize that network. Otherwise, you try to do it on the fly. Like, okay, now I
Hmm.
need this. I need to network on XYZ kind of people. That doesn't
Right.
work at all, right?
Okay.
So first of all, you need to figure it out what kind of people you want to connect, and then sending connection to. That's very like normal way of connecting on LinkedIn. But
Hmm.
of course, you need to understand the limits as well. If you try to connect with like thousands of people in a day, that doesn't
Hmm.
work. Your
Right.
account might get blocked, or your account might get banned. So
Hmm.
I think, as per my knowledge, you can send 100 connection requests per week. Of course, that's
Hmm.
not an official number, but max 100 connection requests you can send, or you can connect with every week. So you can
Hmm.
do the math, how much time it will take to reach out to those kind of like 30,000 connections, right? But that's not the point, right? It's like
Right.
what kind of people you are targeting, what kind of quality people you are targeting, and what is your
Right.
goal, right? So,
Hmm.
but this is kind of like an outbound sending connection request, but you
Right.
might get inbound request as well.
Leads as well. Right.
So that gap might get filled immediately. But how you gonna get inbound connection request? Through content
Hmm.
creation. You increase
Hmm.
your visibility, right? So,
Hmm.
and networking is not only about like connecting with people. You start conversation, you start having like a one-on-one chat. So in that
Right.
way, you create that trust in between. You also drive your audience from LinkedIn to your own community. So that's
Right.
everything comes under the networking, right? And
Right.
if you do it really, right way, then definitely it will help you. Even though you don't need, or you are not looking for a job, or you're not looking for client, or you're not building any product, but it might help
Hmm.
down the line, maybe 1 year, 2 year, or 3 years.
Right. Absolutely. Absolutely. And this is, I mean, this is a very good point that you have stated, that we tend to network once we have a need, and that's a very short period of time that you have to, because people also take time to reply as and when they are free. So networking should be a daily routine, but definitely under the limits, as you said, because LinkedIn also kind of then there are risks involved with that. So
Right.
that's a very good point. We have one more question that I see. So Nilima is asking why the cost per lead is too high for LinkedIn. So what are your thoughts on this?
I think in general, LinkedIn ads are a little bit expensive as compared to other social media platforms.
Right.
But honestly, I never tried LinkedIn advertisement or paid advertisement, so I really don't know.
Right, absolutely. So, Nilima, I can give you a bit of context. I've run LinkedIn ads. So, basically, the cost per lead, because you're targeting that premium kind of audience, and it's super, super narrowed. I mean, you can target the exact position, the exact, uh, uh, maybe the schooling that a person has done, or maybe the kind of graduation that a person has had. So that's why it's kind of you can say 4 5x as compared to the normal Facebook or Google Ads leads that you might get. um, Now we have a question from the Ayushi. She's asking, is there any strategy to attract high potential clients from LinkedIn? You have answered a bit of this already, like through your content, but is there any specific strategy for high potential, like for example, high budget clients, or those big
Okay,
clients?
so yeah, so if you know like these are the potential clients and you have like a 50 or maybe 25 profiles which might be your potential clients, then
Right.
that's the first step, like figuring out or making a list of potential clients and then focusing on only those kind of people, right?
Hmm.
Start interacting with their content, try to view their profile intentionally so they can get the notification, and then start connecting with those people with
Right.
personalized note. You can add like very personalized notes stating that okay, this is exact reason I want to connect with you. And
Hmm.
whenever someone see that kind of reason, then they definitely accept. At least like 80 to 90% people, they do accept. If they find like a reason valid and if they're interested, definitely they accept instead of like
Right.
just sending connection request, right?
Hmm.
So that's the second step. And then once you have them in your network, then you can start conversation, right? You already initiated conversation by adding your personalized note, right? And
Right.
that you can take it ahead that conversation, talk about like few general things, and then come to the point. Okay, you do that, and then if they really need for something, they will get back to you, or they will definitely ask you, okay, let's try out with this, or maybe let's give it a try, or maybe you can just start conversation and ask them like, can we have like a 5 minute chat or a Zoom or
Hmm.
something.
Right.
So that
Right.
also initiate the like business, or maybe that also help you to get the clients on board.
Hmm, absolutely. So I guess Ayushi, your question is answered. If you have any other follow-up questions, you can comment down and I'll take it up. So we have seen a lot of insights now coming from you that about content creation, about networking, how to get clients. Now let's go to the LinkedIn profile part as well, because I feel that's very, very important to form the right kind of impression. So you look at a lot of profiles on a daily basis. So what do you look at in a LinkedIn profile that might just stand out in your eyes? And what are the main elements that should be in place, even if a person is not even person branding?
Okay, so for example, I'm not a recruiter, so I'll not go on search and search people and then go to their profile, right? So
Right.
whenever I just scroll on LinkedIn feed, right,
Yeah.
then I see their photo, their name, and their title. That's it.
Hmm.
So
Hmm.
on the basis of that, after reading that, either click on their name or maybe like a profile photo and go to their uh, LinkedIn profile, right?
Right.
Another case is that if I read their content, if I really like that content, then I go to their profile. So these
Hmm.
are the two ways or maybe like most of the people go or drive from newsfeed to LinkedIn profile, right? So
Right.
your name is clean, your photo is really professional, and your headline is very up to the mark, and you
Hmm.
create good content, right? Then you get that conversion. Like I drive or I move from my newsfeed to your profile. Once I
Hmm.
have landed on your profile, then everything is about what you wrote on your about section.
Hmm.
Of course, I do scroll down and I see your experience, your skill sets, and everything. But more about I like to read about section or summary section.
Right.
So if you write very good summary and you give everything, or you write everything about about your profile, about your experience, and about your future plans, whatever it is, right?
Right.
Then that conversion happens from that point to, let's say if I'm looking for XYZ skills, then I might
Hmm.
directly message that particular person, or maybe I just send connection request.
Right. And that imprint stays in mind that, okay, I've, read this person's about section and I know this person is kind of skilled in that. So maybe let's reach out to him or her. And that's also a good way to get inbound leads, because you might be a client for that person in the future. So that also results in a lot of
Yeah, so
opportunities.
that's why the profile visitors are really
Hmm.
important. If you are
Right.
getting like a lot of profile visitors, it means you are doing something good on LinkedIn.
Hmm.
Either you are
Hmm.
optimizing your profile very good, or maybe you're creating content and driving traffic towards your profile. So if you see like your profile visitors are growing, that's
Hmm.
really good sign.
Right. And we also have the section where we see that what are you being searched for on your profile. So, what has been your experience on that, and how have you been able to optimize upon that, that you are being searched for the right kind of terms?
Okay, so if you know the basic SEO, like search engine
Hmm.
optimization, then you
Right.
might know like what is keyword, right?
Yes.
So if you have optimized your profile for XYZ keyword, let's say my profile is optimized on data analyst, right? So,
Hmm.
and if I do my SEO very right way on my profile,
Right.
when I say right way, in the sense like adding that particular keyword multiple times in a proper ratio, not just like adding multiple random keywords in like a very spammy way. So
Hmm.
it should be like look very legit, and it should add automatically in your about section, in your job description, your position. That
Right.
sense, you get the profile ranked on very particular keyword, right? And you can easily see that keyword or ranking keyword on your profile when you go to the private dashboard on your profile and click on
Right.
search appearances and you scroll down and you see what are the keywords searchers are using to, and your profiles are getting appeared on the search result, right?
Right.
So you can
Right.
validate that if there's something missing in there. Let's say instead of data analyst, my profile is appearing on search like very different keywords. Then what I need to do? I need to replace that keyword with
Right.
my own keyword on my profile. Do the
Hmm.
modification. Wait
Hmm.
for like a 1 week or something because it takes time to update that dashboard. So wait for 1 week
Hmm.
and then come back and see okay whether my profile is ranking one particular keyword or not. And also
Hmm.
it gives you option to see what kind of people searching your profile, either they are founder, recruiters, executives, whatever it is, right? So you can see
Right.
that that information as well. So you can get
Right.
the sense that okay, this kind of people, they are really interested or they are really looking for coming to my profile. And if those kind of right people, then maybe you're doing really good. And that can be like sending connection requests, or maybe that can be creating content on very specific niche, or you're talking to
Hmm.
people in DMs or something. So yeah, you can just validate a few points from there.
Right, absolutely. Because I can vouch for it. At the time, I was being searched for hacker, farmer, and terms like these. So, people watching this, if you are not looking at your search terms, then it's definitely very, very important. And as Mayur said, placing those keywords strategically is the way to go. And you'll have to experiment and keep on seeing the results coming in, the search results. So, a lot of new people joining in. Welcome, Jerry, to the show. Welcome, Anindya.
Hey, hi
We
Jerry.
we have okay, a follow-up question by Renu. She's asking, what I meant was that LinkedIn is a professional platform. It's frustrating to see people posting their pics with random motivational quotes instead of utilizing this platform for more professional causes. What do you have to say about it?
Yeah, I mean, those people are like posting their own pics and just posting random quotes. That's fine. That's their LinkedIn account. That's their strategy, whatever it is. We don't need to focus more on their strategy. We should easy,
Mm,
no, create our own strategy, focus on own journey instead of rather than like looking at their profile or their strategy, right? So if they are creating and it's really annoying you, you can just directly block them or unfollow them or do whatever like so it cannot be appear again on your newsfeed, and you can just
mm,
start following relevant people, start following the content which is relevant to you and which you want to create kind of that kind of content, and you can sort out your LinkedIn newsfeed, right? So I don't think so we need to more focus on looking at okay what other people are doing.
That's a very, very good answer, and that's the first time I'm hearing this perspective. So that's a very good perspective that, focus on your own self, focus on your own content, and maybe if something is irritating you, you can just remove that connection or filter out your connections on a monthly, 6 monthly, or quarterly. Whatever time suits you.
Yeah, and I don't think so that's working for them as well. They just like doing it for getting engagement, or maybe just they are just doing it to look cool on LinkedIn. I don't
Right.
find any other reason doing that.
The chances of getting leads out of that is kind of very, very minimal
Yeah.
out of such content. We have a follow-up question from Mohit as well. Thank you for your answer. I have 1100 connections and 1.6K followers. I have connections with agency owners, startup founders, and top-level executives. And I check from tools like Shield that people from my target companies are consuming my content, but no leads. So where can be the lack, according to you?
Okay, so it depends on like how you position yourself, like,
Mm,
and how you optimize your profile. You might get a lot of views, you might get a lot of profile visitors, but maybe if they are not contacting you, or maybe they haven't, if they find like very interesting service or very interesting thing which you mentioned on your profile, then definitely they will reaching out to you, right? But
mm,
if they are not, it's not happening with you, then maybe you need to figure it out whether the keyword is right, or maybe whether you have to go through all your profile and see, okay, it doesn't make sense. Those visitors, they read content, but they don't take action. That action may be like either landing on your landing page, or maybe sending out connection requests, or sending out DMs, or asking for
mm.
the product or services. So maybe something is lacking in between that. So maybe you can just revisit your profile, do some investigation, do some analysis, and see what is the missing gap.
Absolutely, absolutely. I mean, it's all about experimentation, strategic experimentation, and seeing what is working for you the best. S- Hey Ranvijay, hey Stelivia, thank you so much for joining in. Now, people who are watching this, we have a fun round. Also, stay tuned for that rapid fire round that we are. Before that, last set of questions, we had the mention of Shield as a tool. So, are there any toolkit maybe you use for content creation, or anything you'd like to suggest on those bases?
Yeah, so I majorly use only like three tools on daily basis.
Hmm.
The first one is Notion, which is my like note taking app,
Right.
and I have built my entire content creation system on Notion, and it's
Hmm.
a free app, so you don't need to pay anything. Then
Right.
another one is I use Publisher.io. That's also a free app. You can connect and start scheduling your content. So I do schedule my content on Publisher.io. And third
Right.
one is like my favorite one, Shield AI. So Shield App AI, it's a really good app where you can track all your analytics, where you can see what is working, what is not working,
Right.
and you literally see each and every point, and you can observe and can understand data. On a basis of that, you can take decisions. Right? That's
Hmm.
why, of course, it's not free, but it's I think they have like a 8 days free trial. If you really want to try, just go for it, right? Really,
Right.
it's really great application, a great tool which Andreas has built. And if you really want to get into or try out Shield, then just send me a message. I have something for you. Right? I spoke with Andreas and I got some discount codes for people those who are interested. So if you really want
Wow.
to get it into the Shield lab, then just reach out to me. Of course,
Absolutely.
it's not a sponsored speech, or it's not a sponsored video at all. It's just like I use it, I love it, and that's why I say okay, because I'm already running cohorts, right? So what I
Right.
did, I just sent email to Andreas and I asked him that okay, I'm running this kind of thing. I have like good community, and they're asking about Shield. So can we get some discount for my community? And they said
Hmm.
okay, why not? Sure, because we
Right.
have like a good relationship with them as well. So yeah, and then we agreed on few things, and we have something. If you really want to get it into the Shield app, just send me a message.
Absolutely. And also you had shared some free resources. You have been sharing some free resources as well in the form of LinkedIn Growth Tracker. I also use that sheet which you had shared. So that was a very good resource. And definitely, if anyone who's watching who wants to get those resources, feel free to text Mayur and he can help you out with that.
I think Priyanka is asking very alternate any alternative to Shield app. Yes, there was alternative which I created in Google Sheet, but that was not that good. It was like manual thing.
Right.
So that's why I switched back to, I mean, that's why I started using Shield more often. Because when I
Mm.
started on LinkedIn, I thought, how do I track my progress? How do I track my content impression? And then I
Right.
started try to build something on Google Sheets. I did that. People loved it. Like people downloaded, a lot of people downloaded that Google Sheet. And then I found out Shield app. And I don't think is there any other alternative for Shield. At least I'm not aware about. But yeah,
Mm. Absolutely. And we have one more question asking about the best type of content. So we have already answered that, and we had the conclusion that that depends on your goal. This is what Mayu said, that if you want views, then you can go for like the trending form of content. But if your goal is something different, then obviously stick to your content formats, experiment with content formats, and then choose the best set for yourself. So these are some great insights. One last question before we move on to the final rapid fire round. What do you think is the future of content creation on LinkedIn? What do you see coming, or do you think there's scope or something? Or what are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I think before that, I think I see one more question, that what type of content we can create, either video, text, or carousel image. I think
Yes.
it's subject to you, what kind of interest you have. And if you're really good at writing text form of content, just write it. If you're really good at creating graphics, just post it, images or maybe carousels. If you're really good at videos, create videos. But it depends on, like, whenever you write text posts or maybe
Mhm.
articles or image, then if you're really good at writing, then start writing those kind of content. If you get that good engagement, if you get good impressions, then keep doing that. If that is
Right.
not working for you, maybe that's not for you. You can just try out maybe different thing. Maybe you are good at video, so start
Hmm.
creating video, right? So it depends on you, what kind of interest you have, and you can just try out multiple things, see what is working the best for you, and stick to that.
Right. Absolutely. And where do you see this going? I mean, what's the future of content creation according to you
Yeah,
on
so I think
LinkedIn?
today itself, I just created one poll asking, okay, what kind of like nowadays, what kind of like a lot of features are already coming up with LinkedIn. That's a rumor that LinkedIn is coming up with audio room, LinkedIn is coming up with podcast news feed, or maybe LinkedIn is coming up with or enabling creator tip kind of thing, which is already available on Twitter, where you can tip
Mhm.
creators, right? So you can send
Right.
money, kind of Patreon, right?
Right.
So all these kind of features are already coming up, and I believe, now if not this year, maybe next year, it will
Hmm.
definitely come up with. And your creator journey, if you really started now, or maybe you are already halfway around, then I think you should continue your journey and start creating more content, because future is like with creators only, right? So
Hmm.
creator economy is going to be huge. It is already huge. It's gonna even more huge. And if you want to be a part of that community or that creator economy, then start creating content. It doesn't take a lot of time. It doesn't take, and you don't need to be a writer to create or start writing content on LinkedIn itself, right? So
Right.
even though myself, I don't call myself as a writer, right? So I'm a technically I'm an engineer, right? And there is
Mhm.
no relation between like writing content and doing engineering stuff or writing program, right? But then
Right.
still I managed to create, because you need process, you need some kind of system. So everything comes up, because every day you create content, you generate content, you have content ideas, right? It's just that documenting everything and
Right.
publishing on LinkedIn or maybe any social media platform.
Right. Absolutely. Great insights. And I just had a LinkedIn audio session as well yesterday. So it was kind of a new feature, beta feature. So it's great that it's coming up with new features for creators. Still a lot of there
You
were a lot
tried
of
it, right?
yes,
Audio
yes,
rooms, you tried it, right? Okay,
yes,
I don't have that
yesterday.
option yet. Yeah.
Right. But there were a lot of technical difficulties in a way that the notification didn't go. So a lot of people couldn't join in. So yeah, I think LinkedIn is still working on it, but definitely a great start to it to the audio based community on LinkedIn.
I think it's in very early stage. So yeah, I mean,
Yes.
it will be available within maybe a month or 2 months or maybe 6 months.
Right, absolutely. Now we have few more questions, and if you have lot more questions, feel free to reach out to Mayur anytime, and he can help you answer those questions. And Jerry's asking, "हमें भी audio session में?" अरे बिल्कुल मतलब I mean that's no question. Definitely, I'm going to plan with you and Mayur, and a lot more guests on audio sessions as well, in the near future. So definitely that's coming. Now, there's a rapid fire round. I'll give you two alternatives, or I'll ask you a question. You just have to answer whatever comes to your mind at the first go.
Okay.
And you can explain your choice as well if you want to explain that why have you chosen that. One is hashtag versus no hashtag specifically on LinkedIn.
I think no hashtag because I want to write a very clean copy so people can read it and because it doesn't make sense. I don't get that much boost on my content if
Mhm.
I add hashtag or if I don't add hashtag. But yeah,
Right.
but I would definitely prefer to add my personal hashtag. But
Hmm.
yeah, if I give if I had like only two options, then I would choose I will not add hashtag.
Absolutely. Newsletters or workshops or one-on-one consultations, if you had to choose one out of these three.
I think it's very subjective. It depends on like one-on-one. Uh, let's say newsletter or the one-on-one. It's like it depends on what kind of people we are interacting with. But
Hmm.
always I choose privately owned newsletter.
Okay. For a good connection with the
Right.
audience. Definitely.
Right. One-on-one is like only we can have one. I can only speak with one people, but with newsletter I can send out like thousands or 10,000 people my newsletter on weekly basis, and I can chat with them. So
Right. Absolutely. Now, two questions that are attached to each other. One is how many hours were you spending when you just joined LinkedIn, and what is the hour consumption now, and what are your favorite times to post?
yeah. So the last question first that I usually try to post early in the morning, like between 9 to 11 a.m. But I also
Right.
started posting sometimes between like 4 p.m. to 6 p.m. as well because I just
Right.
want to target different time zones. So that's
Hmm.
the one. And consumptions, I think I'm still because I still in the 9 to 5, right? So I
Right.
get very less time. So usually my consumption is in the morning, early in the morning, and late in the evening. So like one
Right.
hour or maybe max 1 hour.
Right. Absolutely. Now, the last question of this rapid fire, I've tried to make it as tough as I can. Uh, Now you have to choose one out of these. You can't say that it depends or something like that. Mayur Jadhav personal brand or career growth. If someone says that okay, I'm giving you this job, but you can't do Mayur Jadhav personal brand with this.
I think personal brand.
Right. So that's the
If
kind of
I
commitment.
have like a personal brand, then definitely I can get a lot of opportunities. Like, but
Smart
if I
answer.
don't have personal brand, then there's no point, right?
Right. And obviously people, I mean, who don't respect the person brand also, I mean, definitely I see a lot of workspaces respecting, but if someone is not respecting and if it's something that you actually want, then you should choose your person brand over that kind of opportunity. So that's
Yeah, right.
great. Pam is here and she is saying in Hindi, "ये बहुत अच्छा live है." Thank you so much. That means a lot that you're
Thanks,
saying it in
man.
Hindi. And Haim, keep it up, guys. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, guys. And it brings us to the end of this session. Thank you so much, Mayur. Had a great time. Great insights. Got to learn a lot. And thank you so much for taking our time. I'm just honored to be
Same
in
here,
this.
Rahul. I mean, you're doing really great job. You
Thank you
are
so much.
bringing a lot of people on the show, and you're talking to, and that conversation really helps people to understand different topics. Yeah.
Hey,
So definitely, I watch all your videos, all your live streams. So, and it's been a pleasure. Like it's a great having you here on the platform, along with you, chatting with and interacting with people. And I wish you good luck. And
thank you
I
so much.
hope we will be doing a lot of audio sessions or live streams in the near future.
Absolutely, absolutely. And you and Jerry are obviously invited to the audio session, so I'm going to hit you up soon on that. Thank you so much to the audience as well who joined in. Hope you got a lot of insights, and hope you'll start working on those insights as well from the very next day. And yeah, just take care of your health and do person branding as much as you can. Thank you
All
so
right.
much.
Thank you.
Ending the
Start creating
stream.
content.